Hi guys, and welcome to another snus review here at StiffUpperLip. Back home now after my holiday to Sicily and Bahrain. Got a new t-shirt, new cap, lost my old cap in Bahrain I believe. And I came back to some snus waiting for me. Chad from snuby.com has very kindly sent me some snus. I couldn't send any back to him because he's tried everything on the market I think. Sent some licorice instead. One of the snoozes he sent to me is this one, Oden's number 3 white original portion, and that's what we'll be looking at today. He also sent some Isla whiskey loose, I believe in the white one, among other things. I think some chew bags as well, so I'll be looking at those soon here. Chad knows that so far I don't like the Oden's brand, so I'm quite intrigued about this one because maybe he thinks it's a little bit different to what I've had before. So I've had the Oden's number 3 before, the loose version. One of my lowest rated snoozes so far. I don't like the base tobacco in that one, it's got to be said. So we'll see if this one comes through in the same way here or if it's different. So it's a white portion. It's not a dry portion like a lot of GN tobacco snoozes. Although I believe the Siberia blue, I think, is a white one, while the Siberia red is a white dry. So it'll be interesting. This is a new product in the range. They do have a lot of other number 3s out there, like an original portion and loose and so on, that were released a few years ago, but this is a new one. And they got a relatively large catch lid on that one. It looks a little bit bigger than it is, but it's still quite large, a little bit shallow maybe. There's a nice looking white can to go with a white portion here. I don't know yet how many portions are in it, so I'll count them for you, but I believe it's a normal strength snus, and that means 9 milligrams per gram for GN tobacco snoozes, which is 1 milligram per gram higher than a lot of other brands on the market. So let's jump straight into this one. It should have like a earthy traditional tobacco taste with citrus, a bit of bergamot. So it's a traditional type of snus. It's relatively cheap. It's down there by like kronan level. So not the very cheapest, but it's a value snus. And so my expectations here, you know, those, I mean, kronan I gave 4 out of 10. It's normally around that in that category, but you never know. I mean, I've had like Taboka is one I really like. Off-road licorice is another cheap snus that I really like. So, you know, open mind as usual. So we'll see what this brings. Up. Tricky to get into. I'll work my way through it like that, around. There we go. Okay, so it's, yeah, white portions. They're looking pretty nice, I think. I think they make a lot of nice material portions actually now. GN tobacco seems alright. Goes a little bit clumped up, a little bit hard in there, but look really well filled actually. So yeah, it's a little bit tough, the tobacco in there, but looking good. Not a slim portion. Right, here we go. Okay, interesting. I recognize the base tobacco from the number 3 loose, but the loose is very strong of it, and it really put me off after a while. Here, it's citrusy, a little bit peppery, and more traditional to me than the loose, because the loose went really heavy on that specific tobacco taste that Oden's number 3 had, which is much more mellow in this one. So we'll see how it develops under the lip, and I will get back to you and give you my verdict on Oden's number 3 white original portion. It says 15 grams in the can, and I counted only 14 portions. So that would make the portions 1.07 grams each, and if all of those figures are correct, then the nicotine should be around 9.6 milligrams per portion. So I'm not the biggest fan of Oden's number 3 range, it seems, although I do prefer this one to the loose. The citrus in it is quite mellow, but it helps it, freshens it up a little bit, and the white portion also makes it a little bit more mellow. But there is still a quite bold, distinct taste coming from the base tobacco, and I think it's a very distinct base tobacco in the number 3 range. Probably an acquired taste, one that I'm not that fond of. You might like it, and when you see my score at the end here, it's actually the same sort of score that I would give to most macro lagers when it comes to beer. Not my favorites, but it doesn't mean I won't drink them, still can drink them. I mean, you might think that Budweiser is the king of beers, or Carlsberg could possibly be the best beer in the world. Not so much for me though. Here, okay, the citrus, it has a little bit of bergamot, but it's not too bitter. It's quite mellow, but it does help up the snus a little bit for me. I kind of like that it's a white portion here. That is quite peppery. But it's really the base tobacco where it's very distinct for me, and I find it really hard to describe it. I think the closest, it's a kind of a barnyard horse blankety taste to it that is quite distinct and quite different to what I would call a traditional snus. It does have a very specific taste. The earthiness is different than the earthiness I get from AG Snus Captain range. That one is like a garden center earthiness. Here a little bit more stable. And interestingly enough, I'm talking about stable in the Crafted Cardus recently, but it's a different kind. There you get sort of a really nice maturity from that, and that can benefit a snus. Here, all personal preference of course, but it's sort of a slightly off taste to me that I get from that barnyardy taste. But it's different. You might like it. Maybe try it. Not so much for me though, because it does annoy me a little bit. Better than the loose, because that's much stronger of that. So here, yeah, and the nicotine comes through a little bit. It's a little bit elevated than a normal one. I think GN tobacco has good nicotine release. And as I said, the white portion is fine. It does have quite a bit of flavor. Lasts relatively long time. Ultimately, I don't particularly like the base tobacco in it. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 10. And look forward to the other snuses that Chad sent. So thank you very much, Chad, for sending these. I'll be really excited going through them all very soon, I think. Yeah, I'll see you in the next review. Thank you guys for watching. I think this one won't be much edited because I'm out-edited with all the Sicily videos. So this one, quite a simple video. See you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.